Dr. Hovind, I love your doctoral thesis. I've torn it to pieces with house and gaffle. I can't remember when I last pissed myself laughing. It's a good thing the thesis mopped the piss off the floor.
Welcome to part 31 of this read-through and peer review of Kent Hovind's doctoral dissertation, which was published on wikileaks.org on December the 9th, 2009. If you have not yet seen the previous episodes in this series, then I recommend that you go back and see those first, as in this episode I will start off exactly where I left off in the last. In the last episode, Kent told us about how evolution was all of religion and how it shouldn't be taught in schools due to a certain Supreme Court decision. Kent continues in this episode. Madeleine Murray O'Hare did not want her son made to pray in the public school. Yes, Kent, and I am quite sure that you'll be quite happy with your 3 children when they were at school, observing Islamic devotions and praying to Allah. No? Oh well, anyway, she claimed that that was an obvious case of the government advancing a religion at the taxpayers' expense. Yes, Kent, and you know what? I can't think of a more obvious case either. She was very successful in getting prayer taken out of the public school system. Yes, Kent, that pesky separation of church and state thing. But anyway, Kent goes on. Of course, I don't like what Madeleine Murray O'Hare stands for, or what she did, but it does bring up an interesting point. Does it, Kent? And what would that be? Oh, he goes on to tell us. If evolution is just a religion, then it also should be taken out of the public schools. Well, Kent, seeing as it isn't, there isn't really much chance of that happening now, is there, Kent? But do go on. I would like to see some legal action taken to get evolution taken out of the public school system on the grounds that it is just a religion. Well, Kent, things have moved on a little since 1991. Since that time, there has been several court cases. And while they haven't been specifically about calling evolution a religion, no, they've been about the teaching of intelligent design against evolution, in all cases, they've lost. Now, Kent, prior to your conviction for tax evasion, we can presume that you were quite a wealthy man. You own 10 properties, including your bullshit theme park, and run a successful business. You make a healthy living on the guest lecture circuit, so much so that you actually appearing more nights than there are actually days in a year. In the years 1995 through to 97, you were deficit of paying taxes to the value of over $500,000. So we can presume that the value of your income and estate is quite significant. Therefore, I would suggest that if you are so in favour of seeing a court case whereby somebody tries to prove that evolution is a religion and get it removed from public schools, why don't you take up that action yourself? You know, put your money where your mouth is. But anyway, the first step is to approach the school board and request that they remove the objectionable materials. Yes, Kent, and following the ruling in the Kitzmiller versus the Dover Area School District, I'm sure that you will be told politely to go procreate on your way. But he goes on. Step 2 is to go to the people who supply the funds for the school, the county commission. And I'm sure, Kent, for the same reason, they will give you the same response. Step 3 is to take the issue to court. Well, Kent, I wouldn't particularly advise that. I mean, given your track record, be it due to planning permission or tax evasion. You don't have a very good record in front of a judge now, do you? I mean, it could be down to the fact that you either represent yourself in court or get some fundy fucktard of a lawyer who got their law degree from a Bible college. But whatever it is, you just seem to have a habit of losing. Anyhow, Kent goes on. There are basically 4 options in this issue. The first option is to teach evolution only and ignore creation or any other theories of the origin of the earth. This is what is going on now in the public school system. Yes, Kent, that would be because that is the only alternative that appears to have any verifiable scientific backing. The rest, well, they tend to rely on myths in dusty old books. A bit like your own creation theory. But whatever. The option at the other end of the scale would be to teach only creation. This is what was going on in 1925 in Dayton, Tennessee. I'm guessing, Kent, that this would be your preferred option. Yes, Kent, let's turn the clock back and go back to the 1920s. A time of the Great Depression. Let's throw everything out that we've learnt since then. Let's go back to a time when fascism and communism were on the rise and the Ku Klux Klan found general acceptance within America. A much better time, I think we'll all agree. But anyhow, Tennessee had passed a law that made the teaching of evolution a crime. A young biology teacher in a small town in Dayton was encouraged to create a test case by teaching evolution in spite of the law. The teacher was arrested and tried. The now famous atheist lawyer Clarence Darrow came in as defense for the side of the teacher and evolution. Darrow said that it was unfair to teach only one side of the issue. He said that it was the height of bigotry to prevent students from learning both sides of this issue. Even though Darrow lost the case and the teacher was fined $100, his plea for equal treatment was headed. Yes, Kent, and if you ever want to find an example of a travesty of justice, an example where the law is blind and people are stupid, the Scopes trial would be it. But Kent goes on. Slowly, the schools began to teach the theory of evolution with the truth of creation. Well, at least some progress was made. But anyway, we are now at the other end of the spectrum. The tides have totally shifted, and we are now teaching only evolution. Yes, Kent, because it can be proved to be correct. It's similar to the way that we don't teach the flat Earth theory anymore. This is Scopes in reverse. What, Kent? Like common sense? The same bigotry that they objected against they now condone, since the tables are turned. Shouldn't that be tables, Kent? Even though they can, most public school teachers don't mention creation. They have been told that it is against the law to talk about creation because it is a religious subject. Evolution is religious also. No, it isn't, Kent. Evolution, as in evolution by means of natural selection, is a scientific theory that quite simply explains allele frequencies within a population over time. Nothing more, nothing less. It doesn't teach you how to live your life, what food to eat, and what hats to wear. By saying evolution is a religion, you show that you don't know what religion is.